Project 2025.
Project 2025.
Project 2025. Project 2025.
Project 2025.
House Democrats recently held a committee hearing about the dangers of Project 2025. I'm going to recap it for you in less than 3 minutes. During the hearing, they laid out 3 important facts. Number 1, the Supreme Court has given Donald Trump immunity to roll out Project 2025 if he were to win the November election. Number 2, Donald Trump's close association with the authors of Project 2025 and Heritage Foundation itself. Number 3, they talked in detail about how Project 2025 is going to affect each one of us. I was able to talk to some of the House Democrats and ask them specific questions about Project 2025. Question 1, how will it affect veteran benefits?
I am the ranking member, meaning I'm the lead Democrat of the Appropriations Subcommittee that funds the whole VA. Every single day, I am in the trenches fighting to make sure that veterans have the resources, particularly around their veterans benefits and their health care. And I can tell you that every single day in that Appropriations Committee, because the money is where it matters, we are having to fight Republicans who are trying to cut their benefits. You remember there had to be a demonstration on the steps of the United States Senate because Republicans were blocking the PACT Act.
But Project 2025 would eliminate veterans. When you serve our country, when you put your life at risk so that we can protect that American flag and everything that it stands for, you don't leave anybody behind on the battlefield, and you don't leave anybody behind in the United States of America when you come home. We have a moral responsibility to take care of our veterans, and they simply don't care. And no, I mean, the way that former President Trump disrespects veterans, the way that he actually attacks many great leaders in both parties. John McCain was a Republican. How many years was he a POW?
Right.
So I know who's going to fight for the veterans, and I know who's not going to.
Agreed.
And that's why we need to have people understand what Project 25 does.
I asked, how will it affect American workers?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things are going to affect working families that are in Project 2025. Well, first of all, we know Donald Trump's always had tax breaks for the wealthiest people who can join Mar-a-Lago. If you make up to $120,000 as a family, you're going to pay more in taxes thanks to Project 2025. There's a tax cut for the wealthiest, for corporations, but up to $120,000 making as a family, you're going to pay more than you paid before. They want to go after overtime pay. So if you're working and you're working extra hours, you may not get that time and a half anymore because they're going to make it much harder to get that pay, and that's going to have a significant impact. And even into your retirement, while it doesn't explicitly say they're going to cut Social Security, we know that the Republican Study Committee, the largest caucus within Congress, wants to raise the age to 69 for retirement. It does want to end Medicare as we know it. It wants to default you onto a private insurance plan instead of the Medicare you've paid for out of your paycheck all your life.
One of the things that's hidden in there that people don't even know about, and I go in the union halls all the time. I talk to these guys, and he wants to eliminate overtime. So companies or small businesses or hospitals or what would be able to require a worker to work 60-hour, 70-hour weeks and not be paid time and a half.
I also had a chance to talk to Jared Huffman, who was the original House Democrat who brought Project 2025 to the table and put the committee hearing together to address it. Being the only member of Congress who is non-religious, I talked to him about the separation of church and state.
Yeah, so that's fundamentally un-American. 100%. America's gift to the world was church-state separation, secular government. That's why the First Amendment has an establishment clause that they're trying to read out of the Constitution. So we fight about this all the time. And the fact that Project 2025, really does try to impose all of these religious dogmas that are deeply unpopular 100%. With most Americans. So that is really a big part of why I created this task force. It's part of what inspires me to do what I can to make sure every American knows about it and what it means for them in their lives. Even if you're a person of deep faith, most people don't want to live in a theocracy.
Correct.
Project 2025 is very much about moving us toward theocracy.
And last but certainly not least, I had the opportunity to talk to Congresswoman Nikema Williams out of Georgia's 5th District about how the Republicans in Georgia are trying to steal the election before it happens.
Just last week, the State Board of Elections and Donald Trump's 3 pit bulls, that he calls them, on the Board of Elections, they instituted a new rule to require counties to hand count ballots that are coming in. Now, mind you, we're a battleground state. Georgia's a big state. We are going to have millions of ballots cast in 159 counties, and requiring the hand counting of ballots to match the tabulations so that they can find any excuse to sow doubt in the minds of the voters and to not have to certify the election when we win. That's what Republicans do. But we're not going to have it. We are using our voice at the ballot box. We're going to show up early. We're going to make sure that we are meeting them, not just at the ballot box, but also I'll meet them in court if we have to, because we are going to use every opportunity to make sure that when people show up to cast their ballot, that it is counted and certified.
House Democrats made it very, very clear. Project 2025 and the Republican Party are not looking out for the best interest of the American people. It's our job to keep them out of office in November.